What's going down? What up, YouTube? Welcome to the Blacksmith. I have a little treat for you. Today, we're going to visit the Whatever podcast, and they have Candis Owens there. Now, we have some touchy subjects. Single moms, marriage. We'll even sprinkle a little OnlyFans on top. But let's not judge right away. Let's listen, see what the guys say, and then let's also talk about it. Let's do it.
How sleeping or letting your husband or wife sleep with someone else is irresponsible, or it's not a marriage anymore. I'd be kind of curious of what you believe a responsible marriage is like. Or I understand that you have a religious view on marriage, but when I think about marriage, I think I could see somebody saying they're married if it's completely romantic, you're not allowed to do romance with anyone else. Basically, what does a responsible marriage mean to you?
Marriage is not just a contract. It wasn't just the government came up with a contract for people to get married. The history of marriage, you can't separate that from the church. The problem is people are trying to make things cool and trying to update and make them modern, and now people are saying you can have a polygamous marriage and you can bring in other people on the outside of your marriage. What's the point of getting married? Literally, I'd like to ask the question: if you think that you can, if you want to marry somebody and then outsource the sex, outsource the responsibility, outsource what the labor of love is actually supposed to be about, why not just stay single?
So you wouldn't do a threesome with your husband?
Absolutely not, because he's my husband.
Did you even have to ask that to get the
well,
answer?
I mean, there's married couples that want to have threesomes, and some of these ladies are bi-curious.
You should jump into those Reddit threads, because every single time that marriage ends in divorce, there's so many Reddit threads.
No, they don't.
And a lot of them actually
regulars
do really
of
well
over 5
too.
years.
Okay,
and
there's
they're
some that
not
do really
divorcing.
Do you believe atheists can get married?
I think atheists get married because they want a tax break. I don't see the point in an atheist getting married. Why don't you just live with your partner, okay? Whoever it is that you're dating, you're at the stage you said, I don't know if you live with your boyfriend or whatever it is. Why take the next leap? If you're wearing crosses for fun and,
if you're actually asking the question, because then I would just be pledging the fact that I would want to be with them forever.
But you can just be with them forever. So what is it that you crave that when you...
Before we go further, so just real quick, marriage, and then you have people doing threesomes, polygamy, and many other things. And let me just say this. I don't want to be the guy who's trying to tell everybody what you can or can't do, what you should or shouldn't do. All I can say is, from my example, I'm an older guy, but I'm not old, right? But I've been married twice, okay? And before I got married, I dated a lot, and I had a lot of sex as much as I could. And what I can say is, I'm not proud of that, but what I'm trying to say is I learned from that, okay? And what I also learned is you want to keep dating with dating, and then you want to keep marriage as marriage. It's about service. Bottom line, marriage, the definition of marriage is to serve one another. You're not there for happiness. You can find happiness in it through discipline, but you're there to serve one another. And anything outside that you want to gain first before you give, you first, then you give to them, is not a service. It's not a marriage. And marriage was created by people who believe in the creator, and the government found a way to profit off of that. But we can talk about that another day, maybe on the podcast. Let's get into it.
Want to get married? What's that next step for you? What does it mean? What's the difference between dating and marriage?
Because it's a commitment.
Is dating not a commitment?
It's a commitment, but it's saying a next step. It's solidifying it.
Okay, solidifying what? Because if
solidifying a bond between two people that love each other.
Okay, but what is solidified? If you can then jump into that next commitment, which is the exact same as dating, and you can sleep with other people, and you can put topless photos on the internet, what are you getting married for? Pictures on Instagrams to say you did it?
I mean, I'm not sleeping with other people.
What's the difference for you between dating and marriage?
I just told you, it's a bond between two people. You're solidifying that by law. You're literally making it known. I want to be with this person forever. It isn't just a simple breakup. Oh, I can go and do whatever the fuck I want and leave. It's a partnership. It's a bond. It's forever.
But there's no difference between dating and marriage.
There is a
other
difference.
than the idea in your head that it's a bond, because you're saying also.
But it's not an idea in my head. It's on paper.
Oh, okay, it's the paper. That was the
but
point.
It's not a but I'm saying it's not a tax break. It's a legal thing.
And I think
I'm
for people
connecting
that are
to somebody for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, I think for people that think about marriage and don't think about a cross as something funsy to wear, it's not a piece of paper. It is a union between a man and a woman, a sacred union that should be protected from external forces. Definitely not something that you open up. How I would feel disgusting if my husband ever came to me and said, I want you to sleep with another man or sleep with another woman so that I can fill my sexual fetish. I mean, it's an utter perversion of what it means to be married, and it will lead to divorces. People that have this perspective will, and I'm not saying that if you don't do it, you won't get divorced 100%, but I do want to say that there is probably a reason that a lot of sex workers struggle to find people that want to marry them.
Well, can I say a lot of the perversion that comes, if you are not going to be acceptant with your partner, if he comes to you and is like, hey, I really like getting pegged, I want you to peg me, and you're like, ew, that's so disgusting, like I would never do that. You want me to eat your ass? I would never do that. Well then, okay, what are
Hold on, guys. I want to ask you a question. Help me out, okay? In the comment section below. I'm 46. Peg. I think I heard that before. Eating ass. Hey, look. Hey, for flow boat, right? For the people who are into that. Me. We'll get back to that in a minute. I want to say this. I'm already messing up here. Okay, let's not digress. That knocked me off my square. So what do you guys feel about that? Leave in the comment below, what Candis Owens is talking, what this young lady is talking, as far as that relationship dynamic, their beliefs. Like some people believe one way, maybe Candis Owens, some people believe the other way. What do you guys think, right? Like, where should that investment go into? Should it or should it not? And should there be any consequences to whatever lifestyle, right? At the end of the day, every action has a reaction, right? But let's get back into it. Peg. Wow.
What are you going to do? Divorce him? Or what are you going to do? Realistically, I'm asking you hold on. I want to know. What are you going to do? That's your husband. He's like, hey, babe.
I think one of the things about marriage that's really beautiful is I know what my husband, before we got married, I think I know who he is.
But things change, and maybe he wants to start exploring.
He wants to start doing what?
He wants to start exploring, and he's like, oh my gosh, maybe I do want you to like eat my ass, and I kind of want you to me. Like I kind of want anal penetration from you because you're my wife and you're so beautiful and hot. And we're married and we have kids together, and I'm feeling a little bit kinky, and with you, since we have this special marriage and bond, how would you feel if we could just try this out just this one time, babe, please?
I think it would probably indicate to me.
The ending part of that conversation, when they're talking about like marriage and stuff like that and their beliefs, this is just my input on it, right? Every choice in life, there's an action for every reaction. Everything comes with a consequence. You got to ask yourself the question, are the actions I'm doing in service to my partner, or am I trying to get something out of it first and then I think about them second? Marriage is for the union of two people who agree within that union. Everything else is just maybe really great ideas or awesome stuff that you want to do in your own life. And all I can say is this, you got to ask yourself, am I making the best choices in life to get the best outcomes? Not just for me, but the person I'm with. But if it is only about you first before you think about them, that's fine. I'm not judging. Maybe you should not involve another person in your life if it's about you first. Just saying, just an idea. I could be wrong, but let me know if I'm wrong. Comment down below. Say, hey, Raz, get the fuck out of here, bro. You wrong, right? But hey, let's talk about it again. Maybe with enough comments and enough ideas, hey, we can probably do a podcast thing, do something a little live. But until next time, we'll talk again. Welcome to the Blacksmith. We'll wrap it up for today's video. So like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos. Welcome to the Blacksmith. Show me how you get on down. Close my